Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with my next Kill-A-Kit for November layout of my adventures. This one is in West Virginia and it is, other than stopping inside the West Virginia Welcome Center, this is our first official stop. We went to get some lunch and found this cool place called the Black Sheep. And so I'm going to document all of these pictures all together. There are four. One I have printed in a 2x2. The other I'm going to trim down. It's right now a 4x4, but will be trimmed down. And these are the embellishments I've pulled to use. They are from the Simple Stories as well as the Fernwood collection. So, and then I have this piece of 49 and market paper that I'm going to use to mat my pictures because I felt like it was going to stand out on this Fernwood's wood grain better than any of the other ones. And it was kind of the color scheme I was wanting to go with. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, and the stack of pictures that I want to get down on this layout. And no clue what we're going to do, so we'll just see how it goes. So the first thing is I want to figure out how big I want my picture. So this picture right here is actually two pictures together. Well, three pictures together. My best friend took a picture of my kids' plates separately and then of mine and hers together. Or maybe I took that. Anyway, and so then I spliced them to where it looked like there was one picture. But what I was trying to decide if I wanted to do, and I do love the way it ended up, is originally I was going to cut it into four, 2x3s and like have it sticking out in each corner, like by the person who ordered it. So I did decide that I would do that, except I didn't cut them. I'm leaving them in the 3x4. So first things first, I mat the main picture, and that's us inside the restaurant sitting at the table. They're high top tables, which is interesting because I'm the tallest of all four of us. So nobody's feet were anywhere near the floor. I couldn't touch the floor, so I know nobody else could. So this is the gist of what I want to do, but I want to mat the picture of the food. And so I don't need a full paper. I just need enough for the picture to get matted that's going to be showing. And so I have a handful of things in here that are big enough, but I wanted to bring in some teal, not necessarily in a major way, but some of the embellishments I pulled are like a teal aqua color. So I do want to bring that in. So I thought I'd bring this butterfly paper in. And this place was really whimsical and pretty unique. They only had brunch when we were there. And so we, of course, had looked at the menu before we went. And there were other things on their menu, but on Sundays, it's just brunch. So I had waffles, chicken and waffles, but there were jalapenos and bacon and onion. It was very interesting. It was good. My best friend had some waffles with some blueberries and fruit and stuff on it. I think she had chicken with hers as well. My daughter had biscuits and gravy, and my son had a breakfast biscuit with some fries. So it was a very eclectic, but the food was very delicious. So okay, so sorry about that. The phone rang, and so now I have to figure out where I am in recording because I was interrupted. Okay, so I am just tacking down the pictures that I have made, this longer extended picture, and in all reality, the way that the food is on here, it's not like it's right next to the person who got it for the most part, but I know that that was the way we were sitting at the table, so it's all good. So I have this picture here, and this is the sign out front. It just says Black Sheep, and then it's got like brews and burritos or something like that. And I put that up a little high because I'm going to put this frame that came from the Fernwood collection on it. And it says one of a kind. And it is a locally owned kind of place. I do believe it was not like a franchise or anything like that. So I felt like that was appropriate. And I love being able to use things like that that don't always cooperate with my picture. My original thought was I was going to frame the receipt, which is going to be at the bottom. But it was I never tried it out, but I felt like this was better because it helps kind of break up all of that extra in the picture. So then I decided I'm going to put a journaling card down here, and it just came from a Project Life journaling set. This is one that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. That's why it's got a little hole in it. The person who had them, that I bought them from, had put holes in all of them. I don't know why, but, and they were in random places too. So I just cover that up with the picture, and I distressed around the black sheep picture, and I distressed around this little picture, and then inked it with some brown, I think is walnut stain. It's just what was left over on my ink topper, but I'm pretty sure it was walnut stain. That's the last one that I used. And then I'm going to start using my embellishments and building some clusters. So I kind of really only have 2 clusters and then like a little cluster. So I don't necessarily go by the rule of 3s or odd numbers or things like that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just kind of put things on there till it makes me happy. So I built this little cluster down here next to the receipt, and it's got a little ticket that came from the Simple Stories collection. It says delicious. And then it had 2020 on there, so I thought I'd cover that up. I don't know if that meant for the year or if it's just happened to be what was on there, but I cover that up with a little, I haven't done it yet, but there is a little chipboard stamp, and it's got like an apple or something on it. It says something about seeds, and I just put that down there, and I'm going to use another one up by the picture of the food. And then I put a little heart in each of the clusters, and so I've got something with dimension with those chipboards, and then I have something in that orange color category, and then a heart in all 3 of those little areas. And then over there on the left, there's a little clipboard top, and you can't see it anymore because my initial plan for this was to put it on the top of the picture with the receipt because she brought it to me on a little clipboard. But when I was trying to get it trimmed down to fit on the 2x2, I ended up cutting the top part of it off so it would fit because I wanted to be able to see the name of the restaurant, but I really wanted to have that dime in there, which is what's in that picture. Only because when we were creating this, or when we were creating, when we were getting ready to pay, I asked my daughter to give me, the money for her food. I was kidding because like I pretty much was taking care of the trip. That was the whole part of it. But my daughter, who was 20, had just started a new job and really didn't have a whole lot of money yet. So she gave me the dime because the total was $42.10. So she gave me the dime. And then she gave me the $2. But the $2 aren't in the picture because the dime was what was so darn funny. And I journal about that, about how she wanted to contribute to the meal. So she helped out, and I put an arrow towards the little dime, which was really hysterical, especially at the time because we were having a good old time. And our waitress was super nice. And like I said, the food was good. So we had a really good adventure. And so I do journal and put the date and where we stopped and everything and some details. And then I'm going to pull out my little cards, which I love. These are the perfect things to use to cover my pictures and stuff when I play with my ink. So I start with some carved pumpkin because I want to bring out the orange in this layout. But I also bring in some spice marmalade because it's like a lighter shade of orange. And when it dries, it is you can definitely tell the difference. One is more of an orange and one is a little bit more toned down. And then because I want to bring a little bit of that shiny or teal aqua color, I bring in a Delusion shimmer spray in vibrant turquoise. And you see it in close up. I don't think it's going to be as bright, but once it's dry, which it is right now, it is significantly brighter, and I love the contrast and how it looks and brings out the teal that I have pretty much gathered all around the layout. So I am loving how this turned out. I had to matte that little clipboard topper because it was the same color as the paper, and I wanted it to stand out, so I just tucked it in up there at the top and put a little flat back brad on in the little hole. There was a little gap there and I didn't want that. So, and I really, really love the way this turned out. I used some Nuvo Deluxe to get most of that stuff attached, and it turned out great. I love it. So I hope that you have enjoyed this new layout. I'm loving creating with just whatever comes to my mind. And I will be back again tomorrow for another layout. So I hope you will join me for another Killikit layout for Tuesday. Have a fantastic day and happy scrapping.